Welcome to Living with the Times. Today we're going to look into the Torah portion of Beha'alotcha that we just read. And we see a very, very important idea that we can apply to our lives. So the incident is discussed in the Torah portion of the people, or not all of them, but many of them began complaining about their conditions in the desert, especially about the manna, the food from heaven. And they were dissatisfied. All we have is this manna from heaven. We're tired of it. We want meat. We want meat. And the way that the verse is expressed, though, it says, V'hit'avu ta'ava. They desired to have a desire, and they wanted meat. But it's a little bit of an unusual expression that they desired a desire. They desired to have desire. So what can we learn from this? Like most things in life, there's a negative and positive ramifications of almost everything, depending on how we apply it, depending on how we perceive it and relate to it. So here we'll begin with a negative thing that we could see in the world around us. The great American author Henry David Thoreau had an expression that many people live a life of quiet desperation. And so many people, depending on their age, it could be at 30 or 40 or 50, after years of kind of the same routine and rote, that people get very, very restless. And they desire to have a desire for something. Their life is just bland, boring, and it doesn't have to be, but that's how many, many people relate to their lives. And so what happens in a negative sense, that people want to have a passion for something. They want to have some kind of a meaning, but they can't find it in a positive sense. And so they start looking in the wrong places. They try to arouse desire through, it could be alcohol, it could be drugs, it could be an illicit sexual relation. It could be gambling. It could be extreme sports. But people, they desire to have a desire for something, to break out of their box. So this obviously leads a lot of people into very, very, very negative kinds of behavior and a whole headspace of negativity. But let's look at it from the positive. That a great example is sometimes it comes time to pray and we don't exactly feel like praying. We feel strongly an obligation. A Jew living an observant lifestyle prays 3 times a day. But not every time are we totally inspired and have our minds in the right place. And so the advice is given that we should pray that we're able to pray. So this is like hit'avu ta'ava, to desire, to have a desire to pray. But this has many, many other applications. In even our spiritual service can get, we'll call it bland and rote and routine. And we long to have that passion for prayer, for Torah learning, for doing mitzvot, for doing good deeds for others. And sometimes we just don't feel it. And so sometimes we have to pray to have a passion to serve God passionately, to have a passion to learn Torah. And that's what we're praying for. And so, as I said, everything in life can be channeled to negative or to positive. So here in the story of Bahalotcha, here's an example of people channeling their desire for a desire with the physicality. They wanted meat. But we can also take this same idea and arouse ourselves and renew ourselves and remind ourselves that there are passions that are very good. It's good to be passionate about Torah. It's good to be passionate about loving and being loved. And it's good to be passionate in our service of God. So I bless everyone to desire to have good desires.